Welcome to our midweek message. This is Pastor Reed coming to you from First Baptist Church of Olathe. I'm so glad you're taking the time and the opportunity to read and to watch and to listen to and to reflect on what we've got for you today. If you'd like to leave a comment below, please do so. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, please do so. If you are blessed by the video, give us a like. Today I want to talk about foundation. My first experience with a church that I had hired to do youth ministry at was going on a mission trip to Mexico. And this was a church that was part of a larger group of churches that had a mission to a particular area in Mexico. And what they did was they would go down and they would build, several homes, and the homes were fairly simple, but they were well built. They were nice. They were a blessing to folks who didn't have a home. And so we went down and we took all of our materials with us. We unloaded and we got everything separated for the different sites. And then we slept. And then the next day we got up. We went to the site where we were going to build the home, and we unloaded all the stuff. And then we began to work on setting the foundation of this little home. One of the people that was on the trip was an architect. He had actually designed all the houses. And between he and one of the other guys, they worked tirelessly to make sure that our foundation was as close to square as we could possibly make it. There was as close to level as we could possibly make it. They wanted to make sure that the foundation was just perfect. And so after a half a day of work of working on this foundation, we got it, and we began to build walls to set up. And by the end of the week, we had a beautiful home that was decorated especially for the family. It was lovely. But that foundation was really, really important. Here back maybe a month, 2 months ago, I talked about Christ being our foundation in one of my sermons. And the way that I illustrated it was I got a stone that I knew about, and I came and I placed it on the platform on one side, and on the other side I had this ball that was a little bit shaky. The funny thing is that when I went to set up the stone, I dropped it on the platform because I was trying to see if I could make it loud. But as I dropped it, I broke it. And so what I ended up with was a foundation that had already begun to crumble even before starting the sermon. Whoop. Christ doesn't crumble, obviously, but the illustration did. And I would say this is that sometimes we think that things are a lot more sturdy than they really are. And so sometimes we have a tendency to build our foundation, the foundation of our life, the foundation of our identity, the foundation of understanding where we belong and what we're called to do on different things. And sometimes those things crumble. Sometimes our families begin to crumble. Sometimes our health crumbles. Sometimes our employment that was once fun and fulfilling becomes a drag, and perhaps sometimes even we lose our jobs. And even the church. The church can become the thing that we place our identity in, and then when the church begins to go away, we don't know what we're supposed to do, or when the church hurts us, we don't know what we're supposed to do. And so the thing that I want to encourage you today is that the church isn't your foundation. Jesus the Christ is your foundation. Your family isn't your foundation. Jesus the Christ is your foundation. Your health is not your foundation. Jesus the Christ is your foundation. Your employment, your job, what you do for a living isn't your foundation. Jesus the Christ is. As I was preparing for this talk, I was listening to music, and the song that I was listening to is Time and Again. It's on the new Bethel music album. And the first verse says, "You're still the rock that I cling to when everything else falls apart. You're still the one that I'm building on, the reason my hope's never lost. You're the reason my hope's never lost." Ephesians 2:10-22 says this, "So then you are no longer strangers and aliens, but you are our fellow citizens with the saints and members of the household of God, built on the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Christ Jesus himself being the cornerstone, in whom the whole structure, being joined together, grows into a holy temple in the Lord. In him you also are being built together into a dwelling place for God by the Spirit." It's Jesus that ties us all together. It's Jesus that holds us all together. It's because of Jesus that we grow. Jesus is the cornerstone. Jesus is the foundation. He's the one who gives us the ability to belong to one another. He's the one who gives us a purpose to fulfill. He's the one who gives us identity. And the cool thing is that he never crumbles, and he always comes through. The chorus of that song says, "You'll come through now like you did back then, time and time and time again. Almighty fortress, my defense, time and time and time again." If you're struggling, I would suggest that you continue to go back to Jesus. Go back to him because he walks with you even now, and he is your foundation. Go back and remember the times that you have seen him be faithful, the times that you have seen him come through, and remember that he will do it again, time and time and time again. Be blessed. Be a blessing.